Yes, yes. God, I love that song. Okay, that is the greatest band of all time. It's Slayer. I think they are Christian metal. Oh no, wait. That was completely and utterly murderous. No, that was... Okay, maybe they're not. Oh boy, that was bad. Okay, anyway, that was Slayer with Raining Blood. Yes, so metal. Greatest metal song of all time behind every other Megadeth song, including that terrible one I like. Anyway, that was off of Slayer's third studio album, Rain and Blood, which was released October 7th, 1986. So Slayer is part of the Big Four, as they are normally called, on blabbermouth.net. They are, of course, the greatest of all those bands except for maybe Megadeth, who I love more than them, but maybe also in no particular order. I'm not really sure. Anyway, this is the fourth episode of Metorahca. Yes! Go on, Slayers. Maybe we should call this Metorahca. Oh wait, then there's no Torah. How about Metorahca? Metorahca, yeah. God, that's such an amazing idea. Okay, this is the fourth edition of Metorahca, where we are combining Torah with metal. Yes, again, I love metal, and Torah's kind of cool too, but metal, yes. Anyway, so, you didn't see that, but I totally just put my hand up in the metal position. Oh yeah, so awesome. Anyway, so this is Parasha Vayera, and this Parasha has stuff from before. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. With Avraham. And this is a particularly applicable Parasha to the song that I just played, Raining Blood. Yes, so awesome, because this is the part where God destroys Sodom and Gomorrah. So I'll read from the pasuk. So here's what's happened so far, because I don't want to bore you with this non-metal stuff anyway. So Lot is living in Sodom, and he is told to leave because he is a righteous man. So it says in the pasuk, "Va'adonai himtir al Sodom va'al Amorah gifrit ve'esh me'et Adonai min hashemayim." Okay, so that means the sun rose. And Hashem had rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah sulfur and fire from Hashem out of heaven. Okay, so this sounds a lot like a sporting event to me. I am an expert in all of sports, and I like to say what my own personal take on the story is that God threw fireballs out of the sky, probably using a fastball while throwing a free throw, and then kicking a field run. So, Vayafach et ha'erim ha'el ve'et kol ha'kikar ve'et kol yishvei ha'erim ve'tzemak ha'adama. He overturned these cities and the entire plain, and all the inhabitants of the city and the vegetation of the soil. Okay, this is actually a particularly offensive line for me, because with no vegetation left, how are people supposed to eat? I mean, what are they going to do? Get animals to eat? Hello, evil noobs. So, Vatebet ishto me'akrav vatahi netziv melach. Okay, and it says, and his wife, his referring to Lot. His wife is not given a name, which is probably better because she did something terrible, yes. And his wife peered from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. So what's the problem here? So what did he do? Well, let's go to French Rashi. Remember, I am French, so that means I'm probably a descendant of Rashi, and I'm also French, in case I didn't tell you that before. So it says, "Vatehi natziv melach." Okay, so that's what it means, and she became a pillar of salt. And then Rashi says, "B'melach hata, uv melach lakta." Okay, this is very interesting. It says, and she sinned with salt, and she was stricken with salt. So let's keep going. It says, "Amar la," Lot said to her, Amar referring to Lot, "Tani ma'at melach lorachim hallelu." Okay, so he said to her, give a bit of salt to these guests. And then it says, Amora lo, so she said to him, Af ha-minhag hara hazeh, this bad custom too? And she also said, Ata ba lahin hanhig bamakom hazeh, you come to put into practice in this place? Okay, so that was pretty ununderstandable, and if it wasn't for a person like me, there is no way you would have understood. So what that means is, so there was a custom not to have guests in Sodom. It was, they're not very nice people there. And so what happened was, these were the guests, these were the angels that came. We didn't read about this, but angels came to Lot to tell him to leave. And his wife was mad. Why are you giving these guests salt? What was happening was she was against having guests over. So the irony, God, irony is such a great term. If my father, who chastises me sometimes, he got an English degree at Yale, and so there's this literary device called irony, which is derived from the word iron. It is the adjective of iron. So if you wanted to say that something is made of iron, you would call it irony. Like, these bass strings are irony. Anyway, so it says, there's an irony there that Lot's wife, the same way she did not want to give salt, which was some sort of delicacy there, to the guests, she is turned into salt because she looked back. Now this is a pretty easy concept for a person like me, but you're not supposed to look back on your past life. The whole idea is we're constantly growing, we're constantly moving, and it's not a problem for me. I've never really grown because I've been perfect all along. But anyway, this leads me to a whole discussion about spices. Here are people that have no spices. The Irish. The Irish, the only spice they have is whiskey. God, I despise the Irish. Anyway, we're also introduced to the custom of Mayim Achronim. So this is a related custom that is in the Shulchan Aruch and Mishnah Berurah in Orach Chaim 181.1, where we have this idea of washing off after we eat a meal, melach, stone meat. God, it's hard to pronounce that with my awesome voice. Stone meat. So we're supposed to wash the sodomite salt off of our hands. And the idea is that the salt of Sodom is very, very strong, and it blinds the eyes. And so if you touch your eyes after you have salt on your hands, then you get blind, like Jude. There is also this concept that as Lot's wife became, she essentially adopted the customs of Sodom, and she didn't want guests over, so she became a very selfish person. And ultimately, what ends up happening is that we get consumed with being safe. Like, we just finished our meal, we're so happy that we're done, and we just want to, just care about ourselves, not worry about all other problems in the world, like how terrible Ireland is, and that France isn't given enough respect. And so we're supposed to wash away that feeling, wash away the selfishness that Lot's wife succumbed to. But in the end, it is always awesome to rain in blood, yes, as God will strike down anyone who crosses my path, because I am like Lot, and you will never, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, metal. Metal is awesome, and if you don't like metal, God will destroy your city. So with that, here's more raining blood. God, this is so awesome, yes. Oh man, this is the good part. Oh no, wait, it's very repetitive. Why do I like metal again? Anyway, this is Oriel Kaplan with a 4th episode of Metorahca, yes. We will see you next week for number 5, yes, 5, not in the top 4, but number 5, Parasha Vayera.